Michael Mondi for giving us a talk about Untitled. I don't know.
Wow, okay. Wow, okay. So, good afternoon everybody. Pasensya na kung
Tripid. E-R-I-D-I.
Okay. So, pasensya na kung hindi ako masyadong ready sa presentation na to dahil I wasn't expecting that we could actually present something on the screen. So, medyo impromptu yung discussion and I just want to run through at least some of the things that I will show via our site. But before I continue, it's a pleasure to be here and I wanted to actually talk about something with everybody that I think is important as you also decide on what careers you guys are going to take. But before I do, I just want to know who among you guys are seniors or juniors right now? Juniors. Walang seniors. Seniors. You're all freshmen or sophomores? Sophomores. Okay, wow. You guys have a long way to go. But, okay. Tagal pa pala eh. So, I guess, as you guys craft your journey ahead, 2 years from now, and you enter your senior year, I guess you guys have to also consider what you guys want to do in life and what you guys want to build or what you guys want to create. There are 3 major points that I wanted to emphasize that was discussed in some of the talks earlier. For example, when Brian talked about the IT profession being a meritocracy, and he emphasized that the IT world is about solving problems. I'll delve more into that a little later, but I just want you guys to keep these things in mind. The second point that I wanted to also discuss included something that Kayla talked about, which was working with ONP, which I also think is I also think is important, and I'll describe a little later why. And the last thing that Ron talked about was becoming a freelancer, and I'll also talk why it's important. But what I want to talk about is what I believe is the level after all of these things, which is for you guys to solve real world problems by becoming an entrepreneur. All right. I don't know how many or how much discussions on entrepreneurship has been discussed or described to everybody before, but I think one of the things that I wanted to talk about was, or at least to give more ideas on what we're doing in Tripid is, I'll give you guys a rundown on my website or on my site. But before I continue, okay, so my discussion today is really about two-sided markets. Do you guys have any idea what a two-sided market is? No? Okay. That's a start. It's a start. It's the future. Two-sided markets are the future. Maybe in the next, after this, there will be three-sided markets. But that's something that I will be discussing with you guys a little later. So the problem of, or if you guys think about the world right now, we try to solve problems by addressing or by providing a solution. Sometimes the problem is I need something, right? And the solution is, for example, I need food. Where do you go? Sorry? Fast food. Fast food. Fast food has become a solution to the world's logistics and food transportation problems. They've solved food transportation. Another example of two-sided markets in the IT industry would be video games. Do you guys realize how video games are two-sided markets? Back in the days, you had a console, for example, a PlayStation, and the PlayStation manufacturer had to convince developers to develop games on top of that console, right? But in order for them to get to all the developers, they have to make sure that their console sells, right? If you think of it that way, in the modern world, some of the things that are moving industry forward includes commerce. Amazon. Who does not know Amazon in this room? Does not know Amazon? Has not heard of Amazon? Okay. So, sorry. I'm just making sure. Okay. I'm not talking about Amazon Web Services. I'm talking about Amazon the company, B2B platforms, business-to-business platforms, where they move the physical goods from fashion to books to commodities. And in the US, they do it now on a home and from the moment you order it to your home in like 2 hours. Can you guys imagine that? When you guys think of how people have been moving industry forward. So, ang Tripid, ang tinatry namin gawin, medyo matatawa kayo siguro kasi marami nagsabi sa amin na medyo sira-ulo yung ginagawa namin, is we're trying to connect passengers and drivers to help people find other people who are going in the same way as they are. So if you are familiar with the concept of carpooling, we can actually go down, we can play the video, play one, like as a passenger, and then let's see kung, sige, pwede mo i-full screen, mabilis naman yata yung internet.
Commuting can be such an exciting adventure. Test your patience as you brave long lines. Brave even longer waiting times as you switch from ride to ride. Don't want to commute? Hail a cab and go on a pricey adventure. Now, for the less adventurous, wouldn't it be great if you could get to where you need to go in one smooth ride? Say hello to Tripid. Tripid is a mobile carpooling app that lets you get around the city safely.
Okay. Damn it. I should have kept a local file next time. So sorry, this is my first thought. But so Tripid is a mobile and web carpooling app that lets you that helps you find other people who are going in the same way as you are. Can you close this na lang? Yes. Go up to connect na lang. Come in, sign up. Okay lang yan, Facebook mo ba yan? Huwag kang mag-alala. De-delete kita later. May access naman ako sa database mo. Okay, so you're logged and then makakuha mo na yung profile mo, yung cellphone number. Hindi rin gumagana yung Facebook? Ha? Okay lang, okay lang. Sige. So, basically what we do is we connect. If you guys are familiar with the concept of carpooling, we're just basically putting carpooling online. People say that what we're doing is something like Colorum 2.0. But the reality is, the reason why we have vehicle registrations outside when we do, wow, it works. Okay, yes. Okay, so can you go up to the search field? Yeah, okay. Can you guys say, coming from FEU, and then FEU Makati?
Walang Makati, di alam.
Don't put the dash. Wala pang, kailan ba na-establish to?
2010.
Okay.
Sakit. Sakit.
Columns.
Columns na lang, columns.
Okay, anyway, pagbintangan si Google, hindi kami, okay? Ginagamit lang namin yung Google API. Ayun, okay. So, pick a place.
Pasig.
Ortigas or something. Ortigas.
You have to.
Fill up. Wait for it to fill up. Ayun, Ortigas out. There should be something. No, okay. Would you like to create one? Press the create button. Okay, so what we do is we help. So you can basically search for rides that are available or they're coming from where you are and try to catch up with somebody who's going in the same way as you are. So basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to help people find rides and ease commuting. Or ease the congestion. Sinabi kanina ni Ron, sorry, just checking his name, na stress raw magtrabaho ngayon dahil traffic. Pero what we're trying to do is we're actually trying to find a creative solution to alleviate traffic. And I guess this is what Brian was talking about on top of all the other things, which includes like how to think about solving a problem. But when you think about what technology can do today, it can be used to help solve real world problems. And it's a combination of different technologies that you will be applying in your life together with your friends and a group of people to solve a real world problem. Okay? And the challenges of developing this two-sided market is how do we get people to sign up? How do we get people to share a ride? How do we build a community of drivers, and how do we build a community of passengers to come together through our application? So some of the things that we're doing today includes activities like this, building communities, and we're hoping that the FEU community could also participate in this program or in this project as it grows. If you drive a car, are anybody of you guys here drivers? Or do you guys you guys drive cars? Meron yan, I'm sure yung mga nagda-drive dito, hindi nyo lang tinataas yung mga kamay ninyo. And if ever you do drive, you can also charge for trips so that you can carry other people to and from outside work. So most of the time, if you look at RCBC, sobrang puno dyan palagi, dami nag-aagawan at nagpapatayan sa bus, some of those guys could ride with you and you could charge a good fee. Our average trip price right now is somewhere around 60 to 80 pesos per head. That means that you could earn as much as up to like 300 bucks per person if you're a driver, per one way. That's a discussion that we can discuss some other time. But I guess that leads to the second challenge of building a community or two-sided market, which is incentive. So I talked about community, I talked about incentives. Alright? The incentive is if you're a driver, you could make, kanina yung incentive sa freelancer is you guys could also make money. Right? It's the same way here when you talk about building a driver base, the driver can also make money. Alright? And finally, the last challenge really is building scale and growing your company fast enough so that you can attract people to sign up. And I guess that comes with marketing. Well, it's not a guess, it's reality. It comes with marketing, and the only way that you'll get to have marketing money is if you had a great team working together with you to build your product. I don't know if this is okay. Sige. Can you go to about over there? Sa about. Down, 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 down. There. Oh. Wow. Okay. So yeah. So this is our team. When we put up Tripid, I didn't put it up by myself. We put it up with a group of guys who are willing to work together for a common goal. And I guess now that you guys are in this stage where I also thought about what I want to do when I come out of college, this is the right time for you to also think about maybe coming together and solving problems together with other people who are around you. Look to the person to your left, look to the person to your right, and that person could be somebody that you could work together with in the future. And if you can, and if you don't feel like you don't have the skills yet at this point in time, then press the lock character. And you could also join teams. Teams like O&D, which is also important for you to build your skills, right? And to grow as an individual. So I guess that's where I end my discussion for today. If you want to think about where your career path is going to go, I subscribe and I suggest that you consider developing or solving real world problems, and if not, join teams who do want to solve problems to make society better. Thank you very much.